The City of Isani City Council meeting for Tuesday, January 7th. Is there any citizen input? No citizen input. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. All council members are present. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt.
Excuse me, Mayor and Council. We do have a revision of two resolutions which are before you, and one of them is 1A. We had a removal of what was number 3, and then on resolution number 3, we had the addition of one of our department heads for authorization of credit card use. So those two revisions are before you.
And if we were going to change any of this, Ms. Wood, do we discuss that when we hit that item number, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make that motion with revised
I have a
J3 and J1.
motion to approve the agenda with the revised J1 and J3 by Councilman Collison. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. We do have a awesome proclamation, certified award. The City of Isani has received a water fluoridation quality award, which we did take the picture with Public Works earlier today, and it will be turned into the newspaper. This is the third year, correct, that we've received this award, and we'll put this in the case. But good job by Public Works as always. Approval for City Council minutes for December 17th, the regular meeting of the City Council. December 17th, the Committee of a Whole meeting, and November 19th, the Planning Commission meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Announcements. City offices will be closed Monday, January 20th, in observation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Committee of a Whole will be Tuesday, January 21st. And City Council meeting will also be Tuesday, January 21st at 7 p.m. I did neglect to say the Committee of a Whole will be at 5 p.m. Planning Commission meeting will immediately follow Tuesday, January 21st of that council meeting. Goal settings will be Monday, January 27th at 6 p.m. And Park, Recreation and Culture Board meeting will be Tuesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. Any council committee reports? Alrighty then. Moving on to the business items. J1, interview application for vacant Park and Recreation Culture Board seat. We have Mr. Luke Merrill present, if he wouldn't mind standing forward at the podium, Mr. Merrill. I think you have to push the button on that mic so it turns green.
It is.
Oh, it is on. Okay, perfect. I'll read you some questions, sir. If you could just answer these questions, that would be highly appreciated. Number one, what is Park and Recreation Board's role?
So basically, the Park and Recreation Board is meant to sort of bring the community together in safe and enjoyable activities, you know, like gatherings for hikes and other stuff like that, just events to bring everybody together.
What is your vision of the park and recreational system for the city?
So for me personally, I think we need to continue making Isani feel like a small town. There's a lot of development here, and I think it kind of drowns out or makes people feel drowned, and then like the small-time community is kind of lost. So that's what I'd like to see, is just more small-time stuff.
Do you have any experience in the park and recreation or park? I totally screwed that question up. Do you have any experience in parks and recreation or park and recreation member experience?
Yep, so I'm on the county park board. I've been on the county park board for 4 years. We're responsible for 6 county parks and over 840 acres of land. And we plan events for the community, like Frisbee golf, nature hikes, stuff like that. So I have quite a bit of experience with that. And also we deal with all the monetary sides of all that too. So it's just a good experience overall.
Do you have any do you volunteer within this ISANI committee,
Currently,
community?
currently just in the county. I've tried to get involved here at the city, but I haven't had much luck. But that's why I'm here now.
Awesome. And can you attend evening meetings that start at 6 p.m.?
Yep,
As long as he ain't working on his cars.
right.
Right? We all know those cars. Any questions or comments by the council?
It has come to my attention from somebody in the county that Luke's been doing an awesome job with the county park and rec board.
I have heard
Just
that
so
as
you know-
well.
So you all know. I'm actually had asked Luke to apply for this position. When Luke keeps his head level, I think he's got some pretty good ideas. So long as we can keep him in check. I think he knows what I'm talking about. I think Luke would make a great fit for the Park and Rec.
Thanks.
I have also heard he's done marvelous things within the county park and rec. The level head part, I'll just say he's very passionate.
Yeah, it's gotten better since in the last year. So
I would agree, sir.
I would agree also.
There's a reason for that. So
I would agree.
Yep, I would agree.
With that being said, there's no objections by me, and
I make a motion to accept.
Second.
I have a motion to accept Mr. Merrill by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Welcome to Park and Rec,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Merrill.
Thanks, Luke.
thanks.
Resolution, moving on to J2, resolution designating an official newspaper, appointing depositories and professional services, and setting,
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor? We need to go back up to Resolution 1A.
Oh, 1A.
oh, I'm so
Designating
sorry,
committees.
I kind of, yeah, all right. You see why that confused me, though? At least I hope you do anyway. Might be
It's like
crazy today,
it's a
too.
two and one.
There is a 1A, and that is a resolution designating committees and representatives for city commissions and advisory boards for 2020. That is your revised part in
Yep.
front of you, gentlemen. I think everything's good on here. The only thing that I would ask Ms. Selman is, did we just, or Ms. Wood, either you could answer this, the Chamber of Commerce liaison. Do we need a council representation on that one?
Mr. Mayor, I believe that's your prerogative if you want to do that or not. I plan to attend the meetings now that we are chamber members. That'll be a role that I will take on, but you can certainly have a liaison if you choose. It's not a requirement.
I do know, Paul, you still attend those meetings?
No, I no longer do, but
Okay.
the mayor and I were talking, and I said that I'd be willing to go back and attend the meetings.
I just, I think it's just kind of nice that, you have someone in the council who's representing us there.
Well, I'm willing to do that.
We'll put Mr. Burgley in that spot then instead
I
of
forget what
myself.
day of the week is it? Is it Tuesdays or?
I think it's the fourth Tuesday, do you recall?
Fourth
Fourth
Tuesday
Tuesday?
sounds right,
Is the board meeting? I
yes.
think so. And then they periodically have they have luncheons once a month.
Yeah, I know they have luncheons.
Yeah, I'll double check, but it's right. I think it's
Which a luncheon is on my desk, because I was invited to that. But you
Mr.
can go
Mayor-
to that, too.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Berkeley, do you want me to email you the date?
Absolutely.
Just,
If we could, I know Ms. Bettendorf over there has an email list. If we could get Mr. Burgley on there. I don't mind staying on there because it keeps me in the loop of what goes on.
I could be
but-
already on the list because I'm a former member and I think they still send me a lot of their emails.
So they would email him with meeting dates and information, et cetera. Just
Okay.
double check. With that being said, I like everything the way it is. I don't know about you gentlemen, otherwise,
I motion to accept it the way it is.
With the change.
with the change of
Change, yeah.
you as a
For
Chamber of
Green
Commerce.
Chamber.
I have
I'll
a mo-
second that.
I have a motion by Councilman Burgley to accept with the one change of Chamber of Commerce liaison as himself, and a second by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Yeah, number two on there.
Motion carries 5-0.
Right here.
Look at that. Councilman Lundin just says, hey, don't forget number 2 on there. Number 2 on our sheet here is that the city council appoints the following to act as mayor pro temp in the absence of the mayor. Councilman Lundin was my pro tem last year, and I'd like to keep him the same.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Gordon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Now moving on to J2, the resolution, geez, I cannot say words today for some reason. I should have had coffee. That's what I think I need. A resolution designating an official newspaper, appointing depository and professional services, and setting city council meetings for the year of 2020. Ms. Wood?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So we have received 2 bids for designating an official newspaper. The 2 bids received was one from the County News Review, which was $1.99 per column inch, which is 11 lines per inch, 408 distributions in the city of Isanti. The second bid received was from the Isanti-Chisago County Star at $2 per column inch, 9 lines per inch, with 1,885 distributions in Isanti, or in 55040 zip code.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hearing one of these papers have cut down their numbers tremendously.
So what's now the County News Review, who has been our official newspaper for many years, has gone to a subscription-based mailing. If people want to subscribe, and I'm not sure exactly how much it costs, then it gets delivered to them, but it's not a full delivery to everyone within the city no longer.
Do they have a number of how many they are reaching out?
408 is what the subscription is.
Lower
Now-
than you thought, Councilman Gordon?
Well, 408 residents, not, or resident homes.
Yes,
408 homes, yeah.
yeah.
Out of how many homes in Isani?
I think there's about 2,500 or so in the city
Yeah,
limits.
I don't know the exact number, but
And
around,
It's about,
It's give or take
2,500.
25.
and I believe, and I don't know 100%, but I believe when we had, this is last year's paper, or in years past before it went subscription-based, I believe it was near that 1,500 homes or so.
Question I have, are they charging for online reading? And how, and do they get a lot of do they have ways of tracking online readers? Because, I'm gonna be honest with you, 90% of the people I know don't even read the paper. They read it online.
I do not have the answer for that, Councilmember.
Is somebody here from the paper?
We do have Mr. Andres, who is from the Isanti-Chisago County Star. If you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium, please. Do we have anyone from the County News Review here today? Okay.
So, Councilmember Lundin, if I understand your question correctly, you're asking if they charge for readership of the
Online.
By law, you cannot charge to, even if you have a subscription newspaper, by law, you cannot charge to see legal notices online. They have to be published they have to be published free online and for everyone to see online for free.
That's just a legal notice.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's just legal
That's the
notices,
legal
and
notices.
That's kind of what we're worried about.
or our special
But our
events.
meetings are
Or
covered.
special events, or yeah,
Our meetings are covered, and usually there's, a couple paragraphs in the paper about our meetings.
yeah.
I just wish we knew how we could track how many people are actually looking at them. I mean, and that's an impossibility. You're just, you could send out a survey to everybody and you'll get 1 out of every 30 back responding to you, and that's a problem, and that would just be a waste of money and time on that, because it's just,
Their website should tell them how many users they have.
but that doesn't tell you where they're at.
No,
You know, like you could look at it from Stansfield, and they don't know if it's from the city of Isani or not, so.
You are able to track that,
Are you?
yes.
So how many people are watching from Isani on an average basis? Do you know that?
I don't have that information at hand, but I could find that out.
Well, geez, you didn't come prepared
I didn't
today?
come prepared with that.
He
but-
came, he
You did
came.
show up, I appreciate that. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
did I say any county news? Now it's called County News Review. Is that-
Correct.
Yep.
That's the only paper I get. I don't know.
I don't look at either one of them, to be honest with you.
Well, the Star comes to my office.
The County News Review, though, is only by subscription, right?
No,
It is now.
That's the one that just
It
went
is?
to
It
subscription.
is now.
I just
Yeah,
got one.
That's what she brought up.
I'm not prescribed or subscribed to it.
Maybe your wife did and you don't know about it.
No,
Are you sure it ain't the Isani County Star?
I don't get that anymore because I don't subscribe.
I know the Star comes free to my office. I don't subscribe either.
The Star is the
Isani
only one I
Chisago.
ever get in my box, and I
Oh,
read
is
that
it?
constantly.
Yeah.
I always flip through there to make sure, you know, they're
Yeah, I
not fibbing
stopped-
on us.
I stopped getting that and the,
Just so I'm clear, though, the Isani Chisago County Star does not do subscriptions, do they? No.
No,
It's,
the Sandy Chisago County Star is a free distribution newspaper, comes in the white tube, or if you're home delivery, it would be here. But again, 1,800 households in the Chisagos, or in, I'm sorry, in the Isani zip code receive the Star for free.
I don't, but there's more than 1,800 in Isani alone, let alone the zip code, so.
Well, maybe they don't.
We need to know how many
Maybe they have a-
residents.
A screening method, I don't know. but-
Well, we need to know how many residents within the city limits
Yeah.
receive
Yeah.
the Star.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if it comes in my mailbox, because I go out there once a month and take whatever's in that box and throw in the garbage, because I never look at either one of them. And that's not, and I'm not saying anything bad about either one, it's just I choose not to look at the paper.
The Star is the only one I see around town. I know we have it on the desk at the fire station, and I have it at my house.
We have it on the counter here as well.
You guys have it.
Actually, we have both here.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
I-
That's the only one that I see around town at all, is that,
Do you get it at your home?
yeah.
I get it at home too, but
Yeah, I
I
haven't
I
got it.
look at it here more than I do home.
I haven't got it in years.
Really?
Maybe you need to reach out to them,
So,
sir.
Miss Wood, when we do our legal notice, we still put it up at the post office and here at the city also?
correct. By state statute, we do post it in 2 alternative locations, and that is here at our bulletin board in the entryway and then at the post office. The reason why we make this an official newspaper with a resolution is that so people, even if they don't get the newspaper, if they did want to see what legal notice we're posting, they could go to the gas station and purchase it if they wanted to.
I guess you could tell me it was none of my business, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Why did they switch to a subscription base only?
Not with that paper.
Well, you could ask the gal at the table.
The reporter,
Could you please step up to the mic?
If you wouldn't mind
Mind?
stepping up here so everybody can hear it. Well, let's hear what your
Unofficially?
thought is. You can't officially tell me, but you have a thought.
Miss Wood, as she's walking up here, how many lines do we normally have on our ads?
It varies depending if it's like, if it's a surplus notice, those are pretty short for something going to auction or something. But if we end up doing like a job posting, those could get longer. Public hearings could get longer because you have to have a lot of information required within your posting for a public hearing. If you were to guess.
Go ahead.
I would guess maybe 20 lines.
Okay.
So what was your question?
Why did they switch to a subscription base versus what they used to have?
Because the company merged the ECM Post Review and the Asani County News into one paper. And then that's when it became a paid paper, or, subscription-based paper. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So we used to get it free. Asani County was always free. The ECM Post Review wasn't, but we kind of merged both papers with Chisago County and Asante County. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Well, you keep doing a good job, because you do a
Oh.
fantastic
Oh,
work.
thanks.
Well, I'm gonna motion that we switch newspapers. We've been doing those news for a long time, just because I think we get better distribution with the Star.
I have to concur with Mr. Burgley. I've always been a Sandy County news person. But if you're talking 20 lines, you're talking 2 cents difference, and we're gonna get out more further. You know, I guess I'd have to concur.
Yeah, 1900 versus 408 is
Yeah.
quite a difference.
If you're making that a motion, I'll second it.
Okay.
So I have a motion to go to the Isani Chisago County Star
Correct.
by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same side. Motion carries 5-0.
I just want to add, it's nothing against the Sandy County News, but it's just, you're just not getting to the people.
I wish you guys well with that subscription thing. To me, that looks like a corporate decision that might not have been too good.
I get the Star Tribune. I get it on Sunday only. You know what I get it for? The ads. The rest of the paper goes in the garbage. I mean, I'm seriously.
And I believe that because I picked the paper out of his garbage. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you do.
And Mayor-
I've seen the mayor do it, so.
And Mayor and Council, I do want to let you know, as part of that resolution was also the 2020 meeting schedule for all city meetings held here.
Yep.
You see that on your Exhibit A, gentlemen? And if you agree with that, I need a motion for that as well.
I can make this page all the way back there.
I'll make a motion to approve Exhibit A there.
It's the same as it always been, ain't it?
Correct.
Mayor and Council, we do have a few more Wednesday city council meetings because of elections. We have 3 dates for elections in 2020, so that moves the council meeting to Wednesday, just to point out.
Yeah, that's in August.
March,
August, March,
and November.
and
What's in March?
The primary, or
Primary.
the
Yeah,
right?
the caucuses,
presidential primary.
yeah.
Okay.
by
There's
law.
nothing we can do about it anyway.
Nope.
That's by
By
law.
law, you can't have a council meeting on an election day.
I'll second it.
I have a motion to approve Exhibit A by Councilman Gordon and a second by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to J3, resolution authorizing signatories for the purpose of accessing and maintaining city funds and investments, adding authorization for the use of the city credit card.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. J4, ordinance amending City Code, Chapter 260, sewers. This was spoke about in our committee of the whole, correct, Ms. Wood?
Yes, Mayor, you are correct. This is for an ordinance revision for Chapter 260 for sewer, Chapter 325 for water, and the new city code of Chapter 262 for sewer and water service charges, and this was as presented at Committee of the Whole last month.
Can I take a motion for all 3 of those?
4.
4?
3.
Sorry? 3. It would be 3.
Yeah, because it's parking and storage wasn't discussed.
Yes, you may.
I got one question.
Yep.
I know it's not on here. Stormwater runoff. I've talked to some other cities. We're twice as high as some other cities.
For a stormwater utility fee,
You have stormwater runoff fees. And I've had numerous citizens bring it to my attention. And I've checked with other cities. I think we should really, it's kind of part of this and not part of this, that's why I'm bringing it up. I think we should revisit that and look at that a little more stringent.
so this year, we do have the utility rate study funded for in the budget, because it's 5 years old. Do we want to include that in with that whole for the water and sewer rates?
I
as
think we
one whole?
should. I think we should. To me, it's $7. I could care less. I mean, it's $7. But there's some of these businesses that are paying hundreds. And that's just ridiculous. I just, I know what the money goes to. I mean, it's supposed to go for the street maintenance and the stormwater maintenance and, you know, just paying for the street maintenance equipment and whatever, and I get that, but do we have to take their arm for it? You know, that's the way I look at it.
I will make sure that we include that in the rate study for this year. I believe that the timeline has not been finalized, but around July is when we'll start that process.
Yes, I'd greatly appreciate that. And I hope the paper puts that in. I mean, I hate to be a stickler, I just had a lot of people ask me about it.
Absolutely.
But I make a motion to accept those code changes, amending the code, city code on those 3 items.
I have a motion by Councilman Burgley to accept the amending of 260, 325, and 262. Do I have a second?
I'll second it too.
I have a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Ordinance amending City Code Chapter 227, parking and storage. Ms. Wood?
Thank you. This was as presented at the last Committee of the Whole to amend Chapter 227 to make the changes that were described at that Committee of the Whole meeting over near the intermediate school along 8th and 9th Avenue. And this was as presented at that meeting.
I make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
I have a motion to accept Chapter 227 by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Gordon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion carries 5-0, and I have a motion to adjourn by Councilman Burgley.
Oh.
Yes, Ms. Wood?
Mayor, did you want to bring up anything about, you had stated conflict of interest?
Oh,
Under
yes.
communication.
Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. The review of the conflict of interest policy. As you gentlemen know, in the past years, we've had our former city attorney would come up and give us this big spiel. According to our new attorney, that never needed to be done. You will get a sheet, though, that you are trusted to look over that policy yourself, fill that sheet out, and turn it in.
Is that in our packet? I didn't see it.
Brooks
Nope,
has it here,
Ms.
too.
Brooks will give them to us.
The ones that need them.
Correct.
I have always wondered why we had that done.
It's
And-
not even, we don't have to do it by law.
And then basically we were spending money we didn't need to spend.
Correct.
The policy, Mayor and Council, the policy is within your packet, so you could read it if you wanted to get a refresher on it. It is there for you,
I'm sorry, it's where?
within the packet.
It's within your packet.
Oh, okay, thank you.
It was one of those things, again, we can pat our new attorney on the back that he's not wasting our money.
Yep.
Because he flat out said he didn't need to be here, that never needed to be done, and he wouldn't take our money.
So I second that motion to adjourn.
And I have a second motion to adjourn by Councilman Lundin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0, therefore we stand adjourned.
Did I not turn mine on?